Social Security up 11%, a dead cat bounce, and are we in a recession? Let's talk about it. Hello everybody, Joe Warbeck coming at you, and let's start with the most important topic of the day, and that is recession. It looks unofficially like the U.S. is officially in I think this would be its 49th recession. And as I've said before, recessions are based on 2 quarters of contracting GDP. And as we can see here, the first quarter GDP was down about 1.5%, and now predictions are saying that the second quarter GDP has fallen by about 2.1%. Now, this is unofficial. We won't see the official guesstimate until around July 26, but unofficially it looks like we are in a recession. Now, a recession typically means 2 things. Economic activity slows and unemployment rises. Now, in this recession, it does seem that economic activity is slowing, and there's great reason for that. Interest rates have risen dramatically, and the cost of goods and services is through the roof. I mean, we're looking at inflation right around 8.5%, 8.6%. So things are more expensive. People are going to spend less money. But unemployment has actually fallen. If we look January of this year, unemployment was at 4%. It has dropped by 10% down to 3.6%, and has stayed there between May and June of this year. So this is a very different recession. We've never seen unemployment fall during a recession while economic activity is also falling. It's very odd, but that tells me that maybe things won't get much worse for the markets because they have definitely fallen. We can see here that from the beginning of the year, the NASDAQ is down about 28%. The S&P 500 has come out of bear territory and is in correction territory down about 19%. And the Dow is still deep in correction territory at about a 15% loss for the year. However, we did just experience what I might call a dead cat bounce. That's where we've seen markets come back from their lows. And the question is this the beginnings of a recovery, or is this just a bounce before things fall further? I'm leaning a little bit more towards recovery, and here's why. The last time the Fed raised rates, they raised them back in May by 50 basis points or 0.5%. And if you go out 20 days from that rate increase, the markets were down between 6 and 13%. However, this time when the Fed raised rates, they raised it by 50% more or 0.75%. And if we go out 20 days from that rate increase, we can see markets are up between 1 and 2%. Does this mean that the markets liked the 0.75% increase more than the 0.5% increase? I think it does. I think markets are seeing that we need to raise rates. They're understanding that we need to slow down this inflation. We need to get costs under control so people feel comfortable going out and spending more again, to get economic activity up and to keep unemployment at these lows. The Fed has said they will do whatever they need to do to stop inflation, even if that means unemployment goes to 4.5%. But even at those numbers, that is a great unemployment rate. I'm not concerned about that at all. But there are some headlines that seem to be very confusing, like this one that says that COLA, the cost of living adjustment on Social Security, may be as high as 11% this September for 2023, and I'm just not understanding that. The way they calculate COLA is they take the CPIW, the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners, and as we can see here, back in September it was at about 269, and the latest figures we have are about 288, which puts the CPIW increase at only about 7%. In order to go to 11%, we'd have to see the CPI increase another 57% to go from 7 to 11. I just don't see that happening. I'm not really sure where these news agencies are getting their information, but I do not see COLA going up to 11. Could it hit 8? Could it hit 9? Yeah, I do see that as a possibility, which is great for people who are living on a fixed budget to have an 8 or a 9% pay increase. I think 11% is out of the question. So what does this mean for you? If you are currently investing in the market, if you're putting money in your 401k, if you're putting money in your IRA, don't stop. I find it funny that the stock market is the only market that when things go on sale, everybody leaves the store. This means that stocks are cheaper. So if you are younger and you're investing, keep dollar cost averaging, keep putting that money in the market. now is a good time to be buying these stocks. I mean, heck, some of these tech stocks are down 60, 70, 80%. That doesn't mean they're going to go back up in the next few months, but you have a good chance that over a few years you could see a pretty strong return. It also means that if you're in the markets and you haven't gotten out, you probably don't want to run for the hills right now. The worst time to sell is at a low. You don't sell low and buy high. It flips around. You want to buy low and sell high. That's the way you're supposed to do it. So don't let fear drive your decisions. There are little signs that things could be improving. Could the markets fall further? Of course they could, but things are starting to look a little bit better. If you like videos like this, make sure you subscribe for future videos. Leave me a comment down below. Check out some of my other videos. And as always, I'll see you guys next week.